In honor of the 75th anniversary of the Women's Armed Services Integration Act, when women were allowed to serve in the military, we are joined by the founder of a local nonprofit called She's the Veteran. I am so happy to welcome Brooke Jackson Kahn back to the show. Thank you so much, Brooke, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So you were on the show about a year ago. Can you give us an overview of what She's the Veteran is?
Definitely. So we're a nonprofit, 501c3. We've been a community for 4 years, a nonprofit for about a year and a half.
Okay.
And we are active duty, reserves, National Guard, prior service, retired, all stages of the military, both presently serving or prior service. And our mission is improving mental health.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of these programs, it's rare to hear one that is geared just towards women veterans. So what is a day like what we're celebrating the 75th anniversary? What does that mean to you as a woman veteran?
You know, it's a really big deal. It's kind of crazy to think that 75 years doesn't seem so far away, right? You know, women have volunteered since the Revolutionary War, but they were never able to be considered actual permanent members in the military and get the benefits and become service members till 1948. So it's a big deal to celebrate that this year.
It's phenomenal. And something that you said, it's not just veterans, it's active duty, reserves. You said that you have a focus on mental health. What kind of services do you provide for these women?
So we are big of not making someone have a diagnosis and things like that. We say we're both proactive and reactive. So women can come out, get a community. We do programmatic activities, so it could be sailing, it could be skeet shooting, it could be surfing, whatever that we do. We usually try to do something once a month. Art therapy, horse therapy. So we have a little bit of everything for everybody in their interest. They get to come out and learn something, but they also make friends on the way.
And speaking of once a month activities, you had your 3rd annual celebration a couple weeks ago, and it was a pretty big turnout.
We had the biggest turnout we've ever had, and we just kind of see that every year. Most people, they've been every year since we started it because it's just so important for fun for them.
Yeah.
They can't bring anybody with them. It's just themselves, unless they've got a female veteran friend. So no one's bringing their spouses or children, so they can take all the hats off. That's rare for women to do.
Absolutely.
You know, we're always just wearing all the hats all at the same time. So you get to see them take a deep breath, celebrate their service. You know, these women don't generally get thanked very often.
Yeah.
So it's really important that we do that, and it's been wonderful.
What do you feel like are the unique challenges that women veterans face?
You know, there's a long list. I think a lot of this comes back to the fact that PA school is where this whole thing started. When I was graduating, my research was definitely PTSDs, both underdiagnosed, undertreated in the female veteran. So I really feel like I bring like that medical provider aspect to this. And so some of the challenges of women and what they deal with in their service journey being so different, I think that I'm able to approach that with a unique perspective. But yeah, I mean, aside from mental health, there's all kinds of things. Most women aren't supported from the beginning. You know, they get pushback. Either one or both parents don't support them. And then obviously they're in a man's world the whole time they're there. So it's definitely a different journey. It's one of the best things I ever did to join the military, and I love it. Still serve today. But I think it's important for us to take the time out for ourselves and each other.
Well, thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you.
And why did you decide to serve?
So I come from a long line of military veterans, but it was all the men. So my grandfather, World War II, D-Day, he was wounded in action, and then my dad is retired Army, you know, my uncles, cousins, but the women were nurses. So I joke I'm the first to combine the both.
Yeah.
But I am the first woman in my family to serve. I'm very proud of that.
Wow, as you should be.
Thank you.
And you said you went to PA school. Was that in the midst of being in the Army?
Yeah, so I actually continued my service. I don't recommend that to anybody because I was still going to drills, you know, once a month and doing the 2 weeks out of the year and stuff like that. So it was definitely a difficult juggle. So worth it. And so, yeah, it's kind of been an overlap. I joke with people, I'm not 78 years old because they're like, well, this career plus that career.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
the years add up. I don't know.
No, Brooke, I do have to ask you, you've made such great strides already. What are your goals for the future of She's the Veteran?
I really want to grow our programs. I want to grow our community. You know, there's 45,000 women veterans in the state of South Carolina. We're very proud to be one of the only women-focused organizations and one of the only ones that has our specific mission of improving mental health. So I think we have a long ways to go. Even in Charleston County, there's around 15,000, and so we're really proud of what we're doing. But we need people to tell each other and spread the word and like our social media and just get as many women as possible involved so we can help that many more women.
And speaking of that, how can our viewers help you?
You know, I always get asked all the time, the best, freest thing anybody could do is go like our social media, be involved, spread the word. I think that that's part of it. And it's free. It takes you 2 seconds to go click like our page. It's She's the Veteran, both on Instagram and Facebook. And just reach out to any woman veteran that you know, and make sure you thank them. The whole reason my organization's She's the Veteran is my husband gets thanked and he was never in the service. But luckily he's such a great support. He always says, actually, she's the veteran. I'm like, yes, I am.
I love that. Well, Brooke, thank you so much for what you're doing and for spending your time here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Such a great time.
We're back in 2 minutes.